All right, thank you. Now, I'm not one of these fancy city comics with a polished act, but I've been sitting around watching you. I've learned a few things. I think I've got an act planned out here. Oh, like I've got this one joke where I'm telling a story about how I'm having sex with someone, and y'all assume it's a woman because you're heterosexist. But I don't actually say it's a woman. And then at the end, there's a big twist, and it's a dude, or like a kid, or like I'm a kid, or we're both kids. I don't know, would that be funny? Or, I can talk about how sometimes I want to have sex with women, but they don't want to have sex with me. What is wrong with them? Or my boss. I mean, my boss is a douchebag, am I right? But, on with the show. You know, a lot of people, you say somebody says something, they just come right back, boom, like that with the quick comeback, and you go, how do they come up with these things so fast? I'll tell you, they're not coming up with them fast. They're planning ahead of time, thinking of all the things somebody might say to set them up, and memorizing a set of comebacks. Like, you can sit around hoping that somebody mentions RAGBRAI because you've got a routine about RAGBRAI, and now you've got a segue. Or like the other day, my girlfriend lost her phone. So I had to call her phone so she could find it. And I'm thinking, okay, now when she picks up, I'm gonna be like, hey baby, I gotta talk to you quick. My girl's in the other room, but I got a minute here. But then she didn't pick up. And now I've got this joke that I can't use. So I'm thinking one of these days I'm just gonna hide her phone, and maybe next time she'll pick up. Things work. And how many of you play video games? I think you're raising your hands. Can't see shit with these lights in your face. I'm going to assume that people play video games. I know the stereotypes of you people. So the other day I was reading about Dragon Age 3, and they're saying you get to pick the race of your character. And I'm like, all right, I am going to play a Latino. Because Latinos are never in video games. I mean, you have white guys, you have Japanese guys, maybe a couple black guys, but never any Latinos. But then I found out that means that you can play like a human or an elf or a dwarf. And I mean like a white human or a white elf or a white dwarf. And then I find out that it's just going to be loaded with stereotypes anyway. Oh, like you look at the running animations. The humans walk like this, the dwarves walk like this, but the elves, they be walking like this. Or, they think that humans aren't good at magic. I mean, the elves have all the good magic schools in the elf territory. They won't take humans, or they'll officially take humans, but they have legacy policies so no humans can get in. And then some poor bastard goes to the public library and manages to figure out on his own how to cast magic missiles. They're like, oh, it's so cute, a human learned to spell. Too bad humans are no good at magic. And then your major corporations just incorporate this sort of thing to perpetuate the lie. You gotta think past it. But some of the stereotypes are true. Like, if an elf wants a shield, he'll enchant a tree, and the magic tree will grow a shield. They're pretty cool. If a dwarf wants a shield, they'll go into the mountains, they'll dig up some metal, they'll melt the rocks, and they'll make a shield. Now, if a human wants a shield, he'll sneak up on a sleeping dwarf, slit his throat, and take the shield. I'm glad that went over well. I found that joke in a dead dwarf's pocket. Now, oh yeah, let that sink in a little. Now, people ask me, what was it like growing up being Harry Potter's older brother? And that doesn't make any sense, because back when we were kids, Harry Potter wasn't out yet in the US. Also, he didn't look like Harry Potter back then. People would say, what's it like being Elton John's older brother? Because he cut his hair since, and he had different glasses back then. Same last name, Gabe's my brother. I figured you'd all, you seem like a sharp crowd, you got that. Anyway, it was pretty cool, I guess. Now, speaking of segues, though, somebody's talking about getting picked up for public intox. I'm wondering, so you're at the bar, you get drunk, what are you supposed to do? You can't drive home. That shit is even worse than public intox. You can't walk home. You can't take a cab because you already spent all your money on alcohol. Do you just are you supposed to go to the bathroom and pull your feet up until you sober up? I don't know. I've known some people who got busted for that. I never knew what to tell them. Yeah, I think I wrote down some more jokes here. No, I actually didn't. How am I doing on time? All right, well, I've learned a little from John Boehner here. If you give me another 10 minutes, I won't burn this motherfucker down. Or 5. I'm willing to negotiate. You've got to be reasonable here. Have you ever noticed when you first start a relationship and you learn some sexual moves and she really likes them and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to seal this deal. I'm going to keep her. And then after a while, you're like, if I do this, I can get it over with quick. I can get back to Diablo 3. I am 5 minutes from hitting the next Paragon level. And then you hit the next Paragon level and you're like, hey honey, guess what I did? We should do it again. And she's not impressed. I think I'm supposed to tell jokes about weed. I don't know, I've never smoked weed, but I understand it's hilarious. I'm sorry, it's starting to go a little up here now, I think. All right, I'll leave you with that. I'm Dan Rudolph. Good night.